need to rant here. Can someone please explain to me why simply existing in 2025 is a luxury lifestyle? Like, I didn't book a vacation. I didn't go on a shopping spree. I just woke up, breathed some air, and suddenly I'm down $147.22. At this point, I'm not even living paycheck to paycheck. I'm literally living vibe to vibe. I sneeze wrong, and my bank account goes into freaking fight or flight mode.
Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Erin. So let's not waste no time. Let's go ahead and hop right into these insane capitalism rants in the year 2025.
How are we supposed to survive and live as humans, parents, adults? I dropped my son off at preschool this morning, and the director came up to me and he handed me a new pamphlet for this year and a paper, and he was like, "Our tuition is going up." Sir, what do you mean? I already pay $190 a week for him to go Monday through Friday, 7:30 until about 4:30. The price went from $190 to $265. I'm gonna show you so you don't think I'm lying. $265. This tuition is almost as much as my rent.
I agree 100%. If y'all have not seen my previous daycare cost video, I will link that in the iCards. Go ahead and check that out because these daycare prices are seriously ridiculous.
This is why moms don't work anymore. It is cheaper to stay home and take care of their kids. Contemplating life anymore.
I find it insane on how the fact that we have an electric car, trying to help save the environment and everything like that, and we go to put insurance on it, and USAA for all three of our cars, two pretty much of our cars, want us to pay $1,000 a month just because we have an electric car.
With rates like that, I'm not surprised that a lot of people don't have car insurance.
Why are there not bans on things like that, but they're trying to ban certain social medias? Like, that makes no sense to me. Why do I go to the grocery store and pay $6 for a gallon of milk? Like, what? It's a basic necessity to eat. Me and my husband make extremely good money, and sometimes we still struggle to get by because this economy is trash. But then you have older people who are like, well, back in my day, well, sir, back in your day, you could make $90,000 by yourself and be A1. Then you've got people wondering why other people's mental health is so bad, or so many people's mental health is so bad nowadays. It's like, dude, take a look around. It's expensive as crap just to be alive.
This is how screwed up the middle class is in less than 60 seconds. I got a friend, him and his wife make about $120,000 a year each. They're very educated, very smart, very hardworking, not the average American, but we're going to go off of them. So they make $120 a year each. That's $240. They have a credit score of almost 750 combined. They can get a house for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath for around $5,000 a month. How is a basic middle-class person supposed to live and afford a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in Washington State when it's $700,000 and it's $5,000 a month, and a basic family makes probably roughly $80,000 combined, if not $120 combined, and that's at $60,000 a year. So if you make $60,000 a year, you and your wife combined, you still cannot afford to live in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house if you're middle class American. But we're fucking giving all the money.
I need to rant here. Can someone please explain to me why simply existing in 2025 is a luxury lifestyle? Like, I didn't book a vacation. I didn't go on a shopping spree. I just woke up, breathed some air, and suddenly I'm down $147.22. At this point, I'm not even living paycheck to paycheck. I'm literally living vibe to vibe. I sneeze wrong, and my bank account goes into freaking fight or flight mode.
Can we talk about what some actual capitalism bullshit is? When companies sell you something that, like, in any normal world, this would give you a monthly supply, right? I mean, look how massive this bottle is, right? 25 day. That's 25 days, or like there's 25 servings of this. Why can't you just go the full 30? Like, why do you have to just come up a little bit short? So I have to make like one more purchase. I have to make 13 purchases of this a year. I'm annoyed at that. I'm pissed. And companies do it all the time where it's like 28 days, 25 days, like whatever, 26 days. Why can't you just do the 30 days and make everyone's life easier and happier and better. I'm annoyed.
It's not normal, bruh. It's not normal. I'm gonna need everybody to snap out of it. Stop trying to make 2 incomes, 3 incomes, multiple streams of income normal. It's not.
They want it to be normal so bad though. We should not have to work 2 full-time jobs, a part-time job, plus gig work, and still can't afford to buy groceries. In what world is that normal?
It's not. Capitalism is just winning.
When people think not wanting to work equals being lazy, I can't help but think, ooh, capitalism done got your ass. You brainwashed. Because that's not lazy. I see it as just not wanting to be a part of a system that benefits from you being overworked and underpaid.
Is anyone else just like exhausted?
Yes, girly, we all are.
Like not tired. It's a deep-seated, like I feel it in my bones. Like there's a weight on me at all times. Exhaustion. Like I wake up every morning and I'm just like, I feel like there's like 40 pounds on me. It's so hard to get out of bed. Like I open my phone or open my computer to do my little job and there's just this weight of what is the point? Because no matter what I do, I'm not going to be paid enough. So my every waking thought is just money. It's, oh, do I have enough to, be able to eat? Oh, cool. I have to pay my rent and my credit cards. My credit card balance isn't seeing a dent because I can't afford to make the proper payments on it because I have to pay $300 for food that's going to last me maybe for a week. Or, if God forbid I want to go out with a friend one night or go visit my family or go visit my friends in another state for 2 days. Well, now I have negative $5 in my bank account for the next week while I wait to get my next meager paycheck that's not going to go anywhere, that's not going to help me do anything. Like, people ask me what I do, and I say nothing. I can't afford to go anywhere.
Heavy on the can't afford to go nowhere. When your account is negative until your next payday, all you can afford to do is go to work and come home and go to sleep. That's it.
Maybe I can go spend $12 to go see a movie.
Oh yeah, and don't forget, once you actually get to the movies, I'm pretty sure you probably want a drink, which is going to be about $7, and a bag of popcorn, which is going to be another $7. So that $12 movie trip just went up to $26. So there's that.
But then I'm agonizing over, well, how much is it going to cost me to get there and get back? Or am I going to have to spend an hour on the train because I don't want to spend $35 on an Uber because I can't afford to spend that $35. And what's crazy is like I'm making the most professionally that I have ever made in like a non-serving job. And it's like when I was making 30K pre-pandemic, I had money. I was going out of town, I was going out to places, I was hanging out with my friends. It wasn't an issue. Now I'm making more than that, and I can't afford anything. I can't even afford to breathe. I'm like, I have things that I've had in my wish lists and on my lists of stuff to get that I can't. I don't have $130 to spare to get, I don't know, a nice rug or a new bookshelf. It was a splurge. Like I have to plan to buy an essential piece of furniture or to buy $100 plane ticket to go see my friends so I don't sit in my room miserable, falling worse and worse into depression. Like, I don't know what to do. And I guess ranting into my phone is silly or whatever. It's not going to make a change, but I'm tired, man. I don't know how much longer I can do this. Hopefully something gets better soon.
One of my least favorite things about capitalism is the fact that we are never allowed to rest, grieve, or recover after something traumatic or difficult happens. Like when we lose somebody we really care about, when we go through something really difficult, like a bout with suicidal ideation or a suicidal attempt or whatever, and we survive, how are we received? How do we receive ourselves? Are we given time to rest, to recover, to kind of restore ourselves? The answer is no. The answer is so often no, unless you have like hella money, because we have to go to work, because we have to afford our bills, because we have to pay for shit, because we have to get exploited, because the elite people in capitalism have to get their money. Even within mental health, therapists so often are just trying to get us back to a normal life and get us back to work or get us back to school. But we don't need that shit because we need to rest and we need to restore and we need to rejuvenate. Anyways, I'm just venting to you.
So what we're seeing right now with like Netflix raising their prices and locking certain content, and HBO Max doing the same thing, it's really just the effect of corporate capitalism, which we've been very clear about is exactly what would happen once Trump got elected again. Corporate capitalism is going to run wild. Because again, there's always this nagging responsibility to make more and more money. The $2 billion we made last year wasn't enough. We got to make $2.5 billion this year. And once you reach market saturation and you're not really introducing a new product, you got to start nickel and diming and squeezing. Like, the reason we can't have nice things and nothing good lasts forever is because somebody consistently feels the need to make more and more money off it without really offering anything new, anything better at all. So they price gouge. They squeeze. They do everything they can to get every single dime out of their customers. And at the end of the day, they don't mind if they lose a few because the ones that they retain are paying more. Corporate capitalism will always be the problem because it has this cannibalistic, incessant need for more and more and more.
$3 an hour. Person who looks after elderly, $2.50 an hour. Person who makes sure that like children are not exploited and that they're safe, 50 cents an hour. But then you look and it's like associate murderer of puppies at the misery factory, $100,000 a week. And then if you complain about it, some business bro is like, I'm not sure what we're complaining or arguing about. The economics of murdering puppies is just better. Like, it's just more lucrative to murder puppies than it is to take care of children. And you're like, kind of like, okay. And then some other guy is just like, you don't need to work for that misery factory. You can start your own misery factory and you can murder twice as many puppies and make $200,000 a month and then, or week. And then somebody else would be like, I don't even work for the misery factory. I just consult the misery factory and tell them that actually, if you murdered more golden retriever puppies, you could actually save 50 cents a year.
Yeah, we could print more money. You know why? Because we made it have value. We gave it value. We made the money. So yeah, we could print more. Yeah, you know why? Because we made it that way.
Call me whatever you want, but if you're gonna sell tickets to an amusement park and they're like $100 a pop minimum, maybe make sure the park isn't so filled that you can't actually do anything. This past Saturday, I went to Busch Gardens, and if anyone knows anything about Busch Gardens, it is a pretty big park, so I don't really ever see it that full. Tickets are like $100, sometimes more, sometimes less, and when you pay that much for a ticket, you would expect to be able to ride a couple of rides, to be able to get in line to get some food. You'd expect to be able to enjoy your time there. It was so full because they had like 4 or 5 different events all set up on the same day. It was so full that the line just to get into the park was an hour.
One thing I've noticed about theme parks nowadays is it's one flat rate to get in, but they always try to get you to go ahead and get a flash pass or a skip line wristband. That way you won't have to wait in line because they know 9 times out of 10 the park is going to be overcrowded. Half the time you're not even able to get on multiple rides because the lines are so long. It's all about design. I'm convinced.
And I personally got these tickets through my job, so I was like, we already drove the hour, so like, let's just go, let's just figure it out. But once we got into the park, it was way worse. Like, it was so full that I couldn't even really walk because there was just floods of people. I have never seen this many people in one spot ever. And every single ride, even rides that have been open for years that I've literally never waited in line for. Have you ever waited in line for Loch Ness for more than 15 minutes? Because I have never in my life. The wait for that was like 40 minutes. The wait for some of the other roller coasters that were a little bit more popular, some of them were already like an hour long. The quick queue pass, that's like $120. Yeah, there was a line to use the quick queue that was like 10 minutes. If I had to pay $100 to skip the line and I still had to wait in a line for like 10 minutes, I would be pissed. The smallest line I waited in was maybe 20 minutes, and that was to get water. The longest line for food was like a 45-minute wait just to get an ice cream cone. Do you know how many rides that we were able to squeeze in on a 6-hour day? 2. Because every single time we turned our head, there was another like hour-long line. Which this would be one thing if it was like an open to the public type park. But this is a sell ticket to get in type park. This is a park where they set a number of tickets each day, sell those tickets, and that's how many people are in the park. So why the hell are you selling like 10,000 tickets in a day? Why the hell are you selling so many tickets that you are already at capacity at noon? Why are you selling so many tickets that the line to go to the bathroom is 15 minutes long?
One word, girly. Corporate greed.
Like, that's just pure greed. That's you trying to make sure you have as much profit as possible without actually making sure that you can really even deliver on the service. Like, I'm not going back because that was so bad. Like, that was so bad that I don't really even want to go to an amusement park again because that was just so overwhelming and overstimulating, and we did, like, nothing.
I've been to Busch Gardens one time, many years ago. Busch Gardens is huge, like she said. And the fact that she said Busch Gardens was packed to capacity, I can't even picture nothing like that. That's how big the park is.
Like, we were actively on a ride for less than 3 minutes, and we were in line for like 5 hours. And don't get me started on Disney, because in my opinion, it is absolutely criminal to sell tickets for like $300, $400, $500 just for people to sit in lines that are like an hour long. If you're selling tickets for that much, you should make sure that the lines are kept at a minimum because you're not overselling tickets.
The reason why the dating scene is getting worse is because we are in late stage capitalism. And dating is no longer about connectivity or love or romance. It's now about partnering up for survival, getting with someone who will increase your chances of surviving in our current economy. You can't focus on creating authentic relationships when your main focus is on surviving. And this is why so much of the content we're creating is about who brings what to the table, because the table is becoming increasingly more important. Could we all support ourselves individually without worry or fear? This really wouldn't even be a conversation. Relationships are becoming more constrained because people actually do not have the resources to do traditional courting or dating anymore. It's even caused the rise of sex work and hookup culture. It's so much easier to pursue lust and, sex through monetary gain than it is to actually have a relationship when you know that the forefront of your mind is survival. At the end of the day, we are still animals. Even though we are intelligent, elevated creatures, survival is always going to come first.
The real trap of capitalism is that you're working so hard that you want to live alone. The thought of living with your family, the thought of living with a bunch of other people is so exhausting to even entertain that notion. You need your peace, you need your quiet, you need your isolation so that you can have your morning routine, your night routine. You don't want to cook with someone else talking to you in the kitchen. You don't have any energy left over. So to afford this lifestyle, you work more and more and more. And the more you work, the more isolation you crave, and therefore the more expensive your requirements become. Whereas if you worked half the hours, you might have double the energy and be able to live with double the people and pay half the rent. You might find you no longer need such a rigorous morning and night routine. You no longer need so much peace, so much quiet, so much isolation, and you don't even need as much money. Obviously, this is such a simple way to view this. When I was working full-time, all I wanted was to live alone. Anyone speaking to me when I got home made me so frustrated because I was just so deeply burnt out. I always thought that my personal freedom lied in making more money, and while in one sense it does, in another sense it also does.
Oh, well, if you hate capitalism so much, how come you have a phone in the house? Guys, the alternative is being communicationless and homeless. I participate in capitalism because it is the only system currently available to me. And because I participate in capitalism does not mean I can't critique capitalism. Think in caps, please.
It's really just crazy to me. I want us to get the conversation started in the comment section below. What do you think about capitalism, and how has it affected you in your day-to-day life? So with that being said, if you did make it to the end of today's video, don't forget to give this a video a huge thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss no content from me in the future. So with that being said, I'll see y'all in my next upload. Bye y'all.